Hi, everybody. Hello this evening. Rainy, stormy, kind of cloudy, dreary, but very hot. And I've been out all day. I just got home. So I'm glad to have you join me. I want to see if I can make sure that we share this broadcast. So I want to make sure that other people join me. So bear with me a second. Okay. Hi, everyone. Be sure and share this live video. If you would, I appreciate it. Ring my bell. I would love it if you would subscribe to my Facebook page. And to do that, you go to the messengers, write in comments, live and alert, and then you will get alerted every time I go live. Sometimes I go live with no warning. Today, I went live late. I've been gone all day. I had injections in the clinic, and I had a seminar I had to attend to, and it's just been a busy day, and I got home so late, so I apologize. I don't like being late, and I certainly don't want to be late to my life. So I'm going to cover myself up because I didn't even have a chance to change my clothes, and we're going to start. So please send me your comments, your questions. Yes, I do have a tree that I need to decorate. We made a tree a couple weeks ago, and I ordered pearls for it. They came in way too pink. So then I ordered some ivory pearls, but then my ribbons didn't go. So I've ordered some more embellishments. So as soon as everything's in, I promise you, I will go live and we will make this Victorian tree. And so we're definitely will do that. And I'm making a baby wreath for somebody who's going to have a little girl. And so I may even make the bow for that live. I'm trying to get that ready too. But tonight we're going to do Halloween. So we have this little happy Halloween sign. And I need to raise this thing because it's in my vision. And so, hi from Texas. Hi, Louie. Laura, glad to have you here. I appreciate everybody coming in. Give me a shout out and tell me where you're from so I have some idea. And I hope you'll talk to me, and I will try to talk to you too, and as much as I can, and I'll try to answer questions. So we're going to use this, and it's going to go on orange and black mesh that I just finished cutting. I cut this in, this is 21-inch mesh. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Louisa. Hi. So glad to have you here. I cut this into 14-inch widths. Now, a lot of people do the Jackie weave with 12, and I find for me it works better with a little bit more mesh. So I cut mine 14. I've tried it as much as 15, but I think the 14 is going to work great. And we're going to use this pre-made wreath form that I got. I usually make my own, as you know, and but when you have a chance to buy an orange one on sale and you're doing Halloween, what the heck, why not, right? So I'm going to put my keyboard back here. I have not had a chance to even cut my ribbons, so let me show you what we're going to do for ribbons. I've got this green. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Hi, Vicki. We've got this purple with black polka dots and black. I always like to put a solid in there if I can. This green with the spider webs because there's spiders on the sign, and there's green. You can't really see the green outline. All the letters are shadowed in kind of a limeish green, so that'll work well. And then this black with the orange and purple glittery polka dots. Then for the bow, this is the neatest stuff. I found this 4-inch wide ribbon. Doesn't that look like a spider web in the middle? It's not really intended to be, but it looks so spider webby. I think that'll make a great background for the bow. And then we'll use this big or orange with, I don't know, bubbles. To me, they look like bubbles. And then we'll throw in this purple glittery ribbon, and we will use a couple of the ribbons that we're going to use in our tails. So that's what we're going to do there. This is a 24-inch work wreath. I got it from Old Time Pottery. And, oh, I'll show you. We've got this little purple. Isn't this the cutest thing? I just fell in love with this. This little spider. Isn't he adorable? So he'll go on there. And then I've got some lively picks, bright colored picks of green and orange and, you know, the little floppy balls and things. And so I'll use those. So I think we're going to have plenty of things to embellish with. And this should be a lot of fun. And it should go pretty quick, other than the fact that the ribbons aren't cut yet. And I apologize. I just got home like at 5:15 and had to feed dogs and had to go online and get this promoted. Okay, let's see. I think I've said hello to everybody, and if I haven't, I'm sorry. I'm going to say hello to you. And if I don't call your name right now, I'm sorry. It's because I don't see it. And like I said, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment and I will get back to you. I'm going to try to go ahead and make this wreath as fast as I can. I have cut the rope. There was a rope attached with staples. I've cut it, put my label on the back. Always put your label on the back of your sign so that when somebody's done with the wreath, they'll pull the sign off the wreath and they'll see your name and realize it's time to order another one. So I will be stapling some pipe cleaners with staples onto the back of this, and it's plenty thick, so my 1/4-inch staples won't go through. Hi, Michelle! Yay! Yay! She finally caught me. Good. And if you'll see, I normally have a mess. Hi, Daisy, because I don't have any space. I'm working in like a 3 foot by 5 foot, something like that space, and I am in the process of trying to move my craft room into a sunroom. So things are even worse than normal. It's hot. There's not air out there yet. And so we got to get that working. And it's just, it takes a lot of time. So plus it's all windows. So, you know, everything's going to be hiding windows, which is kind of sad, but you do what you got to do, right? Okay, so I have this orange mesh and I've got the black. And this is basically just a little bit of metallic stripe mesh. It was not expensive. Well, all mesh is a little expensive, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw everything on the floor is what I'm going to do, because I have no room. Okay, so what you do, the Jackie weave is pretty easy, and you just start it and roll it up, and you don't want to roll tight. I'm going to roll the camera down. Sorry, you need to see. Okay, let's see if I can get you down here. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll your mesh up, and you don't want to roll it too tight. This is similar to a poof curl, and also you can roll it like this. And then what you want to do is make sure that your seam is down. I'm going to roll a little tighter than that. Make sure your seam is down, and we're going to just take it like this. And make that seam, make sure that seam is down. See, take it like this. So basically you could cross it if you wanted, and then it would look like an awareness ribbon, but this is what you're going to do. And you're going to then take about 4 inches with the curls there on the end, and you're going to tie them. I've opened my ties. You're going to just knock them into there. I start at the bottom. So you're just going to tie them down into that bottom right there. And I don't think I have quite 4 inches. Not quite. So I need to pull out a little bit more because you do want those curls to stand up. So I'm going to go a little bit longer there. Okay. So there you go. And then you have a loop here. So then what you do is you take this one and you roll it up. And you fold it again, just like you did the orange one. Only what you're going to do is you're going to take one end of this and go through that loop. Make sure your seam is down because you don't want that coming out like that. And there you are with your other 2 ends with the curls. And you go in your very next tie with those. And you tie it down. Now what you can do is you can go in and open these up a little bit and make it a little bit of a poof, but they don't open up a whole lot, so don't worry about it too much. That's something you might want to do more toward the end of your project than right now. So we'll take the next set. This is called the Jackie weave. You roll it up. Make the U. Can you see what I'm doing? If you can't see, please let me know. Okay, and we're going to go right where those black, the last black ones were. We're going to go in that same one. Now I'm going to untie these because I want to make sure I have room for the ribbons that I'm going to come back with. So I'm going to put it back down and tie it, and make sure that your seam is inside there. Something just fell on the floor. I know. Oh, it was just a spool of thread. I was sewing earlier. So then we'll just take this one and roll it up. You see, there's no way I could have had this all done ahead of time. So there we are. We just loop it down. We go through the loop there. Pull your ends together and go into the next tie. And tie it down. So you can see what you're doing. You're getting a little bit of a weave here. And like I said, you can open your poofs a little bit, but really right now, that is not your main focus. Your main focus is just to get every tie filled. And if you want to go home, go home. If you want to go back and make some poofs. Yes, I am on YouTube, Deborah. Thank you for asking. I have my own channel now, and it's Cowling's Loving Designs. Hi, Robin. I'm glad you're here. Camera up some more. Okay, I'll camera up some more. This is hard when you're alone and you have no assistant and you can't. There we go. Okay. There we go. I've got all of my mesh just bundled, all these rolls bundled into a box over here because I have no space. Eventually I will have, well, I have another table, but it's just completely covered with stuff. So when I get into a newer, larger space, hopefully I'll have my L-shaped tables and they won't all be covered. Okay. Again, we fold it down and we take these curls and we lay them right in alongside the last one. This makes a really pretty wreath, and I wasn't sure when I first did it that I was going to like this method, but I really, really do. Okay, where'd my black curl go? Here it is. You know what's funny about doing all this Halloween stuff is I'm finding myself wanting to start decorating for Halloween. I'd say it's a little ahead of time, right? But, you know, when you're in retail, which basically we are, you have to always get ahead of your seasons and be ready. I mean, right now, I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday looking for something they did not have. And, of course, they're starting to put out their Christmas and fill their Christmas shelves. A lot of the aisles were empty. They were putting up their Christmas trees. And so they were, where does C go? Where does D go? It was like, huh? They got all their Christmas trees are assigned letters. I didn't know that. So, but I will tell you right now, if you're in the market for florals for fall, their flowers are 40% off, and they've got some of the most beautiful purples and burgundies. Well, every fall color, but my gosh, I love purple, so I was really drawn to the purple mums and dahlias. And okay, so there we have our little loop, and we're just going to go in and lay it down with this black. So now you have the black and the orange curls together. And there's the loop with the seam inside. So we'll do this. You know, this, what's nice about this is you don't see ravels. And it's a little bit more compact wreath. So if you're making it and going to ship it, it can ship in a little bit smaller box, which is an advantage. Just tuck those seams inside and tie it down. Is anybody having trouble seeing me? And I'm going to have to scroll to see comments because I'm losing it. Hi, I'm so glad you're here, Michelle. Oh my goodness. Everybody, it's so nice to have you here. Thank you. And especially since I didn't get it promoted today like I normally do. I ended up being at the clinic longer than I thought I would be. I do have a couple of little frays here. I'm going to just snip those off. You know, mesh will fray, and it frays pretty bad as long as you're messing with it. But when you quit messing with it, it quits fraying. Funny thing about that, huh? But you see how fast this goes. It's just a matter of rolling it up, making the U, putting the curls down. Now, I know that my mentor, Lori, love Lori. She's awesome. She likes to put hers together before she lays them in. She likes to loop her. She loops her loops together before she ties them down. And I've done it that way too. I just wanted to show you this way because the Jackie, Hewlett, I think is her last name, that decided. Well, that Bev can't see it. Okay. You can't see it. I don't know what to do. You told me to scroll down or scroll up. Let me go play with the camera a little bit more. I can't turn it around and work from the other angle. Okay. So I got that loop through there. Let me go here. Tie this down. Let me go try to move again. Perfect. Oh, it is perfect. Okay. No, she says no. It was perfect, and then it wasn't perfect. And there's my washer. Dropped a washer earlier. Okay. Get my embellishments out of the way. So can you see the weaving going on? I told you it wouldn't fray much, and it really won't, but right now it's frayed just a little bit. So I'm going to show you when you try to pull these little poops out. They don't pull out much, but they will pull out a little bit. Just to add a little bit of bulk to it. And it works better after you have the top layer too. So once you get both of them, then you can pull them out a little bit better. And just, you know, fluff it up just a hair. And fray. Okay. It is fine. Okay, see it fine, Rita says. Okay, hello, hello. Hi, BJ. Amelia from Virginia. Oh my gosh, I've got such wonderful, hi, Casey. I've got fantastic people on here with me. Well, of course, everybody is, but I love this so much. Thank you so much for, yeah, no, you guys just made my day. You absolutely made my day by joining me tonight, and I love that. Okay, so here we've got our U. See this? I'm trying to show this to you. You want about 4 inches of curls. Oops. Now I got it. I lost my fold. I'm going to roll it again. There we go. Okay, so you want to make sure that your seam is down, and you've got your 4 inches of curls. And we'll just lay them in and tie them off. You lay, now this will be the orange is going on top of the black. And I'll just tie that. And this, make sure when you have your little U here, you want that seam to the underside. Whoops. I really frayed that one. I don't know how I did that. Okay. So now we'll go to the black one, and we'll roll it up. Again, the U. It's super easy, people. This is super, super easy. So we take this one arm of this. So I've got this. See, I've got it divided with my fingers here. So you take one end, you go through the loop of the orange, you bring them together, and you go to the next tie and tie off 4 inches. Does anybody have any questions about this? And I didn't cut enough mesh, so you'll watch me cut here in a minute, but that won't take long. I didn't even add up how many I needed or how many I had. I just cut. Okay, here is our U, our little loop here. And we'll lay it down with the blacks. The little black curls there. Tie it off. And you can reach down and pull your little curls around, and you can maneuver and finagle everything the way you want it to when you're finished putting everything in. And of course, you'll be putting ribbon in too, so you know you're always adjusting as you're working on your wreath. So there again is another U. I take this, I've separated it, keep that seam. You always need that opening down. You certainly don't want that up, you know, facing up. So we would take one end and go through that the orange loop that's there on the wreath. Now your seam is going to be inward facing. The bottom loop, the seam will be facing you. The top, it'll be down. So then you just go to the next ties and lay that down. There's nothing difficult about this at all. And like I said, you can go in and pull out your poofs if you want, just a little. They don't poof out like your poof method when you're using a 21-inch mesh. Pull your curls up. And just alternate your colors. There's no doubt about it. Black and orange definitely looks like Halloween, doesn't it? You can't debate that one. Okay. Got a U. I'm going to pinch my curls like this. I'm going to lay them down with the black curls there. And when you do that, see, you're left with a loop. See, there's this loop right here. So then you just roll this up. Make your U, make sure your seam is on the inside. You're going to separate this and put this one. Now, I face the seam toward me. It's facing my belly. And it'll go through the loop like this. And then you just pull it together. So this seam on your right hand is then facing down while this one's facing up. So they're facing each other. And then you just pull it a little bit snug, and then you just lay it into the next tie with about 4 inches of the curls hanging out. And there you go. And I got a fray here. And there, if you wanted to pull out the poof a little bit, you should pull it out a little bit. So this is my last set of mesh. Okay, here I'm going to do the orange for this row, and I'm going to have to cut enough for the other. Let's see. And I've already got it on the roller, so that won't take long. I'll show you exactly how I cut it. Again, the U there. Put my curls right on top of the black curls. Normally I would not open the ties up, but this mesh is kind of thick. And like I said, I'm going to put ribbons in, so I want to make sure I've got enough tie to secure my ribbons. So I'm opening it up and laying it back in. And then this will be the last piece for the bottom row. Here we go. I slip it through. some phrase there I want to catch. Okay. There we go. Oh, I was wrong. I thought I was at the end. I have one more. Okay. Okay, so here we are so far, and this is the bottom minus. We've got one more set we need, and then we need a set for the top. So we're just going to come over here. You can see my mesh. I've got it on my mesh roller, and I'm cutting it at 14 inches. So I've got the orange laid on top of the black, so I can cut them at the same time. And I'll just cut 14 inches. And there's one. And so that'll finish the bottom. So that was 10 for the bottom. And then I'll need 8 for the top. Uh-oh, something just fell on the floor on the other side. I have a feeling it was who knows what it was. A washer, probably. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4. Oh, I just cut my I have a sandwich bag laying there to store things in, and I just cut it with my mesh cutter. These are the best things, these rotary cutters. Oh, don't worry about it. You're never late. When you join me, you're always just right on time. I was late. I was late because I wanted to use BeLive, because when I use Facebook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time I go live with Facebook, it knocks me off. And I have to start again, and then I lose my viewers, or I lose my connection, or I can't see what I'm doing because it's trying to reconnect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. I lost count. 7. So I use BeLive, and because I was running behind, I forgot you have to schedule BeLive 15 minutes ahead, at least 15. And so I was late, and I am so sorry. Sometimes the best laid plans go awry, don't they? From New York. Oh, how that's so neat, Debbie. Patricia from South Carolina. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Jackie. The mesh is 21 inches, and I've cut it at 14. Each piece is at 14. Okay, let's see. Bev can't see. Sounds like Minecraft. Michelle, Minecraft is such a disaster. I don't even know what to do with it. Honestly, I don't know. I just keep hoping I can get this move into the sunroom. So, okay, now we're ready to start back up. We're going to finish this last rung, this last one. So, where is it? Here we go. So I've got, I need the orange here. This really doesn't take that long. It does take longer than just doing a poof method, but you're not going to go back and add curls or ruffles or anything. So, this is just it. So I guess it all comes out in the wash, as my mother used to say. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But it's just kind of a neat method, and I do like doing something different. Okay. Something else hit a spool of wire. Every time I move this wreath, ribbons fall, or it hits something on the desk, and it just goes. Okay, so we're done with the bottom. So now we'll start with the top. I'll start with a black one here. This mesh is, like I said, it's not the cheapest mesh, and it's by far not the most expensive, but it's got some good body, which I like, and that's going to make it stand up. So let's see. Let's go where there's orange. Well, it really doesn't matter because they're all going together. So here we go. I'm going to put these down, 4 inches of that into that tie. And I'll tie that off, and I've got a nice little loop here. Can you see where my hand is? So then we'll roll the orange. Now, at least there's not as many ties in the top. There's 2 fewer. So this one will go a little bit faster. There's my U, see? Take it and take one of these and take it through the loop. If you don't lose it, and I lost it with my fingers let go. And there you go. So my seams are together on the inside, and then I just lay it into my ties and leave about 4 inches of the curls hanging out, and then I just quickly tie it. So now we have the orange curls, so now we do the black. We just keep alternating back and forth until we're all the way around. So, and like I said, it won't take real long. So now we've got the curls. Here's the black one. Got the curls. We're going to tie in with the orange curls. So you only have to weave every other tie is when you'll be looping through the other loop of the other color. Because every other one you'll just be laying curls together. So here we go. Looping through. And you'll find as the more you do this, the faster you get at it. Okay. So here's my 4 inches of curls and laying it down. So, and as I said, you'll go through later and pull the poofs out a little bit. And the biggest thing, of course, is that you're going to want to make sure that you shape up your curls really good. You want to try to mix them in and kind of like that. See if you can get them to, but you'll do that as you add your ribbons. And so it makes it kind of easy to work with that way. Okay. So, I'm getting ready to go to that Wreath Makers Live convention. It's just 15 days away. I'm getting excited. I'm not looking for, okay, my U, just my U here. And I'm not looking forward to driving by myself, but I mean, it's not a bad drive. If anybody wanted to come to Huntsville and drive with me, that would be awesome. I'm taking my big old car, so there's plenty of room to haul stuff home. Today, I was looking for, oh no, I'm knocking everything down now. There went the Mod Podge and more wire and who knows. My trash is overflowing. Trash comes tomorrow, so I can get my trash out. I was going to do that before I started the live, but it was pouring rain, and I didn't want to do that. So, okay, so here we have another U, and we're just going to swing through and just tuck it through this black loop. Yeah, it's still raining out there. Anyway, so I was told be prepared to shop, and so I thought, well, if I'm going to be shopping at this convention, I'm going to need a way to haul my goodies. So I started looking for rolling carts, and they had them at Costco, but they were $45. They were very pretty, but I don't care about pretty. I only care about function, and I really didn't want to spend that. So I went online and started looking to see who had them, and found out that Home Depot has one that's rated 5 stars for around $20. So I'm going to be ordering that, or I don't know if they have it in the store or not. I have to make sure that I have that. So I'm starting my list. trying to make sure that I have everything I need, because this will be my first Wreathers convention. I've been to other kinds of conventions, but I've never been to a convention where I did shopping while I was there. And so I'm not sure exactly what to expect, except that I know me. And I know that I'll have to have one of everything. And so, does anybody have any questions so far? We're just looping through. We're just looping through and then tying down, leaving about 4 inches of the curls and the hanging out of the tie. So here we go. I'm going to try to pull that loop there. Do you see how it's shaping up to be a pretty full wreath? Oh, I'm just knocking everything down. And there went my spider. Okay, now I don't know where I ended. Where did I end? It's getting so full I can't see. Okay, I need a black one. So this will still leave a good amount of mesh on your rolls. If you cut it at 12 inches, you can easily get 2 of these out of 2 rolls of mesh. But since I cut it out of 14, I probably won't get quite 2 rolls. So here's my curls. And there's my orange curls. I don't want to lose my place. So I'll tell you what, I am looking for that snowball tool or splattered tool. Different people call it different things. It looks like paint splatters. And I had 2 things of it, 2 rolls of it. It only comes in 5-yard lengths. So I cut it up into ruffles to put into my pink baby wreath, which I'll get that here and show you in a minute. It's not finished, but I'll show it to you as far as I've gotten. And I'm 1 tie short. So I was looking all over town for some of that, and nobody had it. And so I was looking online for it, and hardly anybody has it. So I decided what I guess I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little board on it, on the wreath, for them to write the baby's name and birth weight and all of that, because this wreath will go on her door when she's in the hospital and has, when she has the baby. And so I got a dry erase board. I was going to do a chalkboard, but I didn't really want a black board on this beautiful little pink and white wreath. So I got the dry erase board, which is white and comes with marker. And that way they can use the wreath as a decoration in the nursery, and they can change what they write as time goes by, because she's not always going to want her length and weight up there on the wall. And they may, put her birthday or, like a party or whatever. Who knows what they'll do. But anyway, I'm kind of excited about this wreath. It's the first baby wreath I've made. And so I've got all the ribbons in, and I've got the tool in, and I have one tie with no tool. And so that is going to be where the sign's going to go. And it won't matter. But you have to be sure when you do those things that you have to get them adjusted just exactly right so that they're hidden, But nobody's going to care whether there was a piece of tool behind that sign, because that sign's going to hide it anyway. Okay, we're getting close, guys. Making sure that seam stays underneath so that it's not a raw edge sticking up. And this is nice because you don't have to have a real tight curl. You don't want the real tight curl. You just want, but you want a little bit tighter than that one, I think. Let's see. So I don't decorate for Halloween around my house. And it's not because I don't like Halloween. It's because nobody comes here. I'm out in the country. We have no trick-or-treaters. And nobody comes around. I suppose I could have a Halloween party. Maybe I should do that. That might be kind of fun. Okay. One more. So here we go with the black one. And then we'll cut our ribbons. I'll show you my baby wreath, and then we'll cut the ribbons. Oh, there's the orange. Okay. Thought I lost one of my pieces of mesh, but I didn't. The very last one. Now I'm back to the first tie where I have 2 black curls. So I'm just going to lay down these 2 orange curls. And there we go. So now it's complete. See this? See how full that looks like? So now if you want to do it, if you want to go in and start pulling the poofs out a little, they don't pull out much. So you don't even have to do that. Because it really is standing up nice and pretty because it's got quite a bit of body to this mesh. So, okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to get that baby wreath. Okay, so let me get my camera moved up a little bit. So here's the baby wreath. And I've started adding some embellishments. I got these cute little pink pacifiers. Can you see that under my hand there? It's kind of hard to see. And then these little diaper pins. So I'm started adding those. But if you can see this little white ruffle, this is the spatter tool. And then I've got 4 different ribbons in here. Isn't that sweet? So then I'll put the white dry erase board on. And I might even decorate around the rim of it with some little pink flowers or something like that. And then I'm going to put a great big bow on it. And I think she'll be happy, and I think it'll be really pretty hanging on her hospital door. What do you think? Do you like that? So I'm going to go put this back, and then we're going to cut some ribbon. There. Okay. I'm going to cut my ribbons at 12 inches. So I'll pull out my little size matters. My boyfriend makes these out of fiberglass. Very pretty. Thank you, Patricia, Patty, Pat, whatever you call yourself. I apologize. I don't know. This is my Size Matters. Size Matters is a division of Cowling's Loving Designs. And he makes these out of fiberglass. And they're only a 1/16 of an inch thick. So they're very thin, very sturdy. We'll paint them to the color of your choice. Apply your logo to them. And a set of 3 is $28.95, including shipping. And you can get any size you want. If you want 8, 10, 12, 12, 13, 14, a set of 3, like I said, is $28.95. And you can go to our website and order these. Website is www.callingslovingdesigns.com. So we're going to start by cutting some ribbons here. And check and make sure that I'm not missing any comments. I don't think I am. Let's see. I may be missing a lot. Do you tie the black and orange together with the same tie? Yes. I'm sorry, Trudy. Hello. I was scrolling the wrong way. Please do watch the replay. What you do is you take your you of, you have your tube of mesh, and you put 4 inches of your curls. You leave out and you tie them into the one tie. Oh, here, let me just show you. So you start out by putting them into the one tie, and then you have a loop. So then you'll take the black, or in this case, here's the orange. Then you'll take your black mesh and pull it through the orange loop and put those tails in the next tie. So then you'll have black tails in one tie and orange in another. So then you start with the orange again, and you go back into the same tie where the black ones were. So so you'll ultimately end up with curls, 2 curls of the black and 2 curls of the orange, or whatever colors that you're using. And it really does make a nice pretty wreath. And once we get the ribbons in, it's going to be so full. And look at this. This is going to be really cute on here. See, don't you think that'll be cute on there? Especially when we have the purple ribbons and the green ribbons, and then put that big purple spider on there. I think it's going to be really cute. So, I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to cut ribbons, and I'm going to use the purple with the black polka dots. Thank you. So pretty. Thank you. It is an interesting method. Like I said, it's called the Jackie weave. It's named after the lady Jackie who invented it. So this is an odd feeling ribbon. It's flocked. It's got like velvet flocks, and it's real thin, almost, I guess it's a polyester or a nylon. There I go wasting that because I got to cut it at the crease. So, okay, so we know I have 18 ties. I've got 10 in the bottom, 8 in the top, and I want to alternate my ribbons. So I will start by cutting 9 of each one. So I'm going to take this 12-inch size matters. It's just like a ruler, only it's 2.5 inches wide. So it's as wide as your wider ribbons. And usually I put these on a peg, but my peg is full. It's covered. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's easier if I have a peg. 7. I know what I can do. 8 and 9. It's curling up on me pretty bad. I realize what I can do. So then you just cut it off right here. So I'll go right through. See this? Can you see this? Where it is, I'm just going to go right there, up through the board there. Cut it, pull this out, and go up here and cut the rest. So there you have your 9 ribbons, all the same size. So I have those. Okay. I have not used this ribbon before, so I didn't know exactly what it was made out of, because it's blind cellophane, and it's something that I ordered and hadn't touched yet. So sometimes you just never know. So there we've got that one. So now I'm going to do this green with the spider webs, because there's spider webs on the sign and spiders. This is flocked. This isn't flocked, it's a velveteen ribbon. So that's, I need to pull this up just a hair. Someday I'll have a Mevo camera that I can operate without having to get up and move. A couple of weeks ago, I tried to put it up on the side of my mesh roller and have it at an angle, but at least I could operate it without getting up and down. But that didn't work very well, so I got to cut off from the case. Okay. I'm going to pull out my easy bow, and I'm going to put that right there. So we'll just start there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I don't count out loud, I'll lose my place. 9. Oh, it's so funny. It's amazing when you don't, hi Tammy, when you don't use your math, you know, you can be, I was a math major in college. But if you don't use your math, you kind of lose it. And last night I was at a restaurant with my granddaughters, and I said, okay, I got to figure the tip. And I said, I tip at 20%. So that's, you know why I tip at 20%? Because it's easier. It's just a lot easier to figure 2 times whatever and move that decimal. But we were splitting the tab, and because we hadn't asked for separate checks, and finally I said, you know what? It's too hard to do this. Just put the tip all on my card. And my granddaughter, who is 11, said, Mimi, it's $7. It's not that difficult. Oh, out of the mouths of babes. Okay, so now we're going to use this black. Like I said, I always like to use, oh shoot, it's sheer. I did not know this was sheer. Let me think about this. I thought this was a solid black, and I don't have a solid. I don't have a solid that's an 1.5 inches wide. Okay, so we'll come back to that and we'll figure it out. I may switch up to orange. I love this one. I love glitz. You know, when you get to be my age, it's all about the bling. And, okay, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So my boyfriend Donald is in charge of the Size Matters division because he does the creations. He's the one that does the labor on them. And I'll show you my easel here in a minute. He makes the Size Matters tabletop easel. And it's a 1/2 inch solid plywood. And it's got a really narrow silhouette, so you can go through the center of your hole, the hole in your wreath, or around the sides. You can attach anything without having to move it because of that slender silhouette. So I'll show you that here in a minute. And where's my pin? Don't tell me I lost my pin. Oh well, I'll get another one. I always pin my ribbons. I used to use rubber bands on all of them, and I was denting them. So I switched to pins. Okay, now I have to decide what I want to do. I can go to solid orange. I want to go to solid orange. I guess I'll go to the solid orange. I really didn't want to because it's satin, which is not my favorite ribbon to use, but it is wired. So we'll do that. because I really didn't want to do that sheer. I can put the sheer in the bow, but I'm not one to use sheer too much for tails. 1, 2, 3. Oh, come on, it's curling on me, satin curls on you. 4. 5. Well, gosh darn. So next week on Monday, I will be going live on Wreath's Busy Bees. Is it Wreaths by Busy Bees Custom Creations web page on her Facebook page? She's on vacation, and she always does lives and on Mondays and Thursdays. And so she asked if anybody would help her by going live on her page. And so I volunteered to do that. So next Monday night, I will be live on Wreaths by Busy Bees Custom Creations Facebook page. So keep an eye out, and I will post about it. And I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. I think I might do Christmas. But if I don't do Christmas, I might do fall. A real pretty fall, florals. I'm having a terrible time. Okay, I'm just going to throw it on the floor and see if I can get it. It is just completely curled up on me. And I need one more, I think. I lost count. See, having it on that peg didn't help me one silly bit on this, not on this ribbon. Satin is a pain in the tush, or as my granddaughters would say, Mimi is a pain in the booty. It's a pain in the booty. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I'm going to cut it off just because I'm tired of battling with the curl. If I need one more, I'll cut one more. Well, I've wrapped it so tight up. There we go. Anyway, like I said, I live out in the country, so we have no trick-or-treaters. And because houses are far apart, and it's very dark out here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, I need one more. Okay. And so I probably won't even hang a wreath on my door for Halloween. I did hang up a patriotic wreath for the 4th. The only people that saw it were the UPS man and the postal lady. Of course, at Thanksgiving, I have a fall wreath on my door, and the family or anybody who comes for Thanksgiving dinner sees that. So, and fall is my favorite time of year. I just love the vibrant colors, and I really love the fall florals. So, I'll be doing some fall floral wreaths without signs. I can't get my pin in. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so now we've got our tails all cut, and we just need to dovetail them. My scissors are getting dull, so I'm not going to do all 9 pieces at one time, because sometimes it makes them go cattywampus. You kind of don't have a pretty V. So I'm just going to cut half of them at once. There. To do a dovetail, the easiest way to remember to make sure you don't end up with a point, but you end up with the V, is cut from the folded edge away from you. So if you have all of your ribbons folded, and you cut away from you toward the seams, toward the edges side, then you're going to have a nice little V. So that's what I always remember. Now, on the rare occasion that you want points, like if you're making flower ribbons, or ribbon flowers rather, and you want a point, then you just do the opposite. But I always just fold them and then just cut the folded edge away from you. And then you'll always have your perfect dovetails. So we got those done. I don't know why I'm trying to throw things into my trash can. Most of it, everything is coming right back out on the floor. So I've got to get my broom out, my trusty little broom, and my dust buster. And okay. This satin ribbon is so slippery. This is why I usually try to have my ribbons cut before I go live, because I feel like it's kind of tedious for y'all to sit and watch me do it. Spread the love for you. Thank you, Kathy. I hope everybody will. And please go to my YouTube page and ring my bell. Subscribe to my channel. I'm trying valiantly to get my numbers up, and of course you got to get to 1,000 to really get noticed, for people to really find you easily. And gosh, I'm only at like 150, so I need a lot of help there. But I was grateful to get to the 100, because that gave me my own URL, which was very nice. And also, I do have an Etsy store. It's Cowling's Loving Design, because they only give you enough letters that I had to knock the S off the end. So it's Cowling's Loving Design. And I also have a Amazon handmade Cowling's Loving Design. And so I also am going to be starting a new group page. And that one is going to be called Your Enchanted Door and More. And I've already started the page. And that's going to be to do just strictly design. And I won't be posting probably recipes and kids and animals and stuff like that on that one. That will be actually a group and not a page. But it's Your Enchanted Door and More. And that'll be coming in probably October. I was shooting for September, but we're going to be gone on vacation for 3 weeks in August. And there's going to be a lot to deal with when I get back. So it's probably going to take me that long to get everything organized. And because I don't have time to get it all done before we go on vacation, because I'm going to Wreath Makers Live. 5 days after I come home from Wreath Makers Live, we're leaving for that 3-week vacation up from Alabama, up into St. Louis, up into Iowa, over to Lawrence, Kansas, and then to Topeka, Kansas, where he's going to race. And then we're going to head to Wichita, and where I can see some friends I haven't seen in years, and a couple of nephews that live there. And I'm making a beautiful floral arrangement for the cemetery to lay on my father's and sister's grave. Although they make you use this one little vase that doesn't hold a whole lot. So when I say beautiful, I don't know how beautiful it'll end up, because it's such a limited amount of space. But I will do my best. Okay, so now our tails are cut. And we can start putting them in this wreath. So move these ribbons back. So I think, shoot, I don't want dots on dots. So, oh, my ribbon just, the wire just came out of this whole piece of ribbon. Let me see if I can roll it, push it back in. Sometimes I can push it back in. And if I can't, I'll have to cut a new one. And I just, yeah, it was wanting to come out. It's wanting to come out the other side. I'll cut a new one. I just hate that, because I feel like I'm wasting ribbon. And it's just because it caught on something and started pulling that wire out. So I'm going to cut another 12-inch ribbon. just been happening a lot to me lately with the wires coming out of the ends. Anybody else having that problem? Wreath Makers Live is down in New Orleans, and it's going to be hot. I went out and bought a couple of new pairs of shorts. I'm not a shorts wearer, but it's going to be so hot. Hi, Tequila. I'm so glad you're here. Love you, lady. I love all of you guys so much. Okay, so we're not going to do dots on dots. So that means by process of elimination, we're going to do dots on spider webs, and we'll do the orange on the dots. So this is what we'll do. So I'm just going to go through real quick and set them up like this. And I think every other one, let's see. Yeah, that one, every other one. We'll just do it that way. And that way I'll have more room to work with, and I won't be spreading. I have a way of managing to get my wreath on my ribbons and knock them all over the place. And that's because I have no space. I know I say that a lot. I think Donald's getting tired of hearing me say, I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. But it's the truth. I have nowhere to go. If you saw everything in my kitchen, you know, I have nowhere to go. So I'll tell you a story about my house. We live in a great big house on 5 acres. And we have a lovely pond in the back 3-acre pasture where we were getting deer every, boy, I really screwed that one. That dovetail, I don't know where that ribbon was. Okay. Anyway, so we have deer that were coming to drink at the pond, and they mill around and we watch them. And I love watching them, and I don't know why I love watching them, because they really don't do anything. You know, they eat the grass and drink from the pond, and then they mosey on about their business and go away. But a few months ago, we had 8, and 5 of them were babies. And it was so much fun to watch them, because they were prancing around and hopping and jumping on each other, and they were acting like puppy dogs. It was adorable. And that's the last we've seen of our deer, because I think it's because the next door neighbor gets out there and shoots his guns. And I know he's not shooting the deer. Pull this mesh up here and make some more room. I know he's not shooting the deer, but he's shooting at a target that's close where they come, you know, and I'm sure it's scaring them off. Okay, so I'm going to start putting my ribbons in, and what I'll do is I'll arrange these curls as I do that, and pull out the poofs and see if that doesn't fill in any kind of gaps, which it will. I can promise you it will. I know you cannot see me because I'm on the opposite end, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to open my tie up, because I need the space, because my ties aren't long enough. So what I do is I take my ribbons. You know what? I'm going to stand up. Okay. I take my ribbons together. I fold them in half to find the center. Then I kind of gather them together, and I shape them like that, kind of down. And I knocked it on the floor. Okay. Then I'm going to open the tie, and I will lay my ribbons right in there, and then tie it off. And then I'll tuck the ends of that underneath. And then I'm going to pull my ribbons down. Now you can pull pretty hard on these. You can be pretty firm with these, but you want to shape them kind of pretty in a Y down there. Okay. Now I'm getting pop-ups. Okay. So once again, here's my ribbons, and I fold them. Now I fold them under like this, because when I gather it together, it's already kind of got this shape under like this that I want. Sometimes I folded them up, and it was easier to fold them under, and then they're already kind of going that direction. So I will open this tie. It's kind of nice when you make your own framing. You don't have to open your ties, because you've been using your pipe cleaners in there longer, so you don't have to open them up. You can just lay it in. And I'm so used to doing that lately that this is a little bit more time consuming. But these are just going to lay really nice, I think. So they're, oh, aren't those pretty? I like the greens and the purples showing up. I think that's really cool. So, you know how you think you can envision things, but you don't really envision them, you know, because the reality is usually so much prettier. So, where's my, I'll pull these black curls up here. I'm going to open this tie. Put that ribbon down there. Tie it off. Tuck those ties down. Let's see if I can pull these curls up. Here we go. Shape the ribbons. Oops. There we go. I really like this green. It's so cool. Oh, sometimes you just luck in. Okay, so here we, oh boy, that's another bad. I must have had these really off-centered, or the ribbon must have folded up while I was cutting, because that was really a bad dovetail. And you don't want bad dovetails. You want pretty little dovetails on your ribbons. Okay, so we'll fold that under, and then we'll crimp it together and kind of shape it. If you take your fingers, oh, I'm way off the center. Okay, take your forefinger and your third finger, and you just kind of shape up like this. See what a pretty shape that gives? It really works if you run that ribbon through your fingers like that. It really helps shape it pretty. You can do it with your thumb a little bit, but it works better if you put it through those two fingers because your thumb's too short. So these are just little things that I have discovered along the way. Things nobody's taught me or told me. I've just found them out as I was just going through making wreaths. So, and you know, we all find new little things and new techniques. There's no right or wrong way. So if somebody says she shouldn't have done that, well, you know, or he shouldn't have done that, because not everybody's a she that makes wreaths. It's all personal opinion and it's all personal preference. Okay, I don't need CBD oil, please. You can go away with your ad, pop-up ads. And I can't make it go away. Go away. Oh dear, now it really went away. Okay. So let me scroll up here and see where we're at. Hi from Virginia. Hi, Carla. Say everybody say hello to Tequila and to Carla and to Kathy and to Trudy and Tammy. Oh my goodness, I've got so many wonderful people on here. I can't even tell you. I had a lot more. Some people have gone away, which is fine. I mean, it's a long video. You know, it's when you do these, people come in and they go off and watch other people and then they come back, and or they'll come back to see the finished product later, which is fine. And because I had the extra time tonight that I had to take up cutting my tails, I will probably make my bow off of the screen and add it later, because I don't want to keep you guys around. It's already 7:30, and you know, we're just getting around the bottom. But look how pretty this is looking. Isn't that pretty? And it's got some sparkle to it, which I love. So this is going to work out just fine, I think. I don't know how that ribbon got so much longer, but I'm going to shorten this one a little bit. I must have added extra length when I was wrapping that around the tails. Okay. So these two ribbons are thinner than the others. The other ribbons have more body, and so these are a little bit harder to shape. The satin, that's one of the reasons satin is not my friend. It's got a pretty sheen. I love the looks of it. I just don't like working with it. It just doesn't have the body, and it's just not quite as easy to work with. But you know, sometimes it's all you got, and sometimes you work with what you got because it's the right color or it's the right pattern or whatever. But see how pretty that is? It's really looking nice. So It's turning out well, I think. Best laid plans, if you have none, sometimes is the best thing. Like I had none until about 10 till 6 when I took a picture of this stuff and said, this is what I'm doing. So, okay, I've got that tie. Seems like that's a big space between ties. Sometimes these wreath, yeah, it is. These wreath forms, the ties are not evenly spaced. That seemed like such a big space, and it was. But by the time you get everything on and you get this hung up, nobody notices those things, you know. Nature's not perfect, and few things are. And so you do it as perfect as you can. I'm going to cut some frays. I will not use my ribbon and scissors on cutting mesh. It's the fastest way to dull a pair of scissors. I'm going to lay this one down and see if I can gather it better that way. Yeah. Okay. My ties are getting lost on my loops. Okay. There it is. I couldn't find my tie. It was lost. And you stick those ribbons down as far as you can, and then you just tie those ties as tight as you can, and then tuck those ends down. Now, if I were using my own wreath that I make with my pipe cleaners, I would probably use a pencil or a dowel to roll them down. But when there are these thick ties on these pre-made wreaths, they don't roll as easily that way, so I just tuck them around. We're almost all the way around the bottom. So it doesn't take long to try to put your ribbon tails in. I got an uneven dovetail. Boy, I did not do well on some of these. It's the slicker ribbons. They must have moved on me. To be more careful in the future. I'm going to put this down. So when I drive to New Orleans, it's going to be about 6.5 hours, which probably depends on the police action. If it's 6.5, I can usually do it in 6. I have a very heavy right foot. It's much heavier than my left arm. I have found out. And so I can usually cut my time down. Okay, so we're done on the bottom. Except this one doesn't look very nice. I didn't get that very well laid down. You'll always go back and reshape. And you'll always go back and add things or move things around. It's just the nature of the beast. Because wreath makers, artists are very seldom satisfied. And so we just keep at it until we're as satisfied as we can be. Okay, now we're going to the top. So I'm going to go up opposite the ribbons of what I have. So down here I've got the purple polka dot and the green with the spider. So up here I'll go with this purple and black polka dot. Now, often I will not put all my tails on the top, but we'll go put my sign first. And that's actually a smart thing to do because sometimes you end up covering up your tails. So you're wasting ribbon if you're going to put your sign in and then cover up your tails. You're kind of wasting ribbon. But I did go ahead and cut these. So I'll put them in. And I may just mount my sign on here where there are no tails. I'm cutting some frays here. At this point, I'm putting them on the floor. They're going to get swept anyway. So here we go to the next one. Now on the top, I do more of in an X pattern, except where there's the sign. Wherever the sign is going to go, then I'll bring the ribbons and I will direct them away from the center of the wreath so that the sign doesn't interfere. Does anybody have any questions or any more comments? If you joined me late, this is the Jackie weave method. And I used 21-inch mesh, 2 rolls, 1 orange, 1 black. And then I cut them at 14-inch strips. I rolled each strip. And then I put each strip separately into a tie with about 4 inches of the curls hanging out. You see I've got these curls hanging out. And then the next strip I laid on top of those curls. I've got 2 orange curls and then I have black. And you weave the tubes, as you roll your tubes, you weave them through each other. And that's called the Jackie weave. And it does make a very pretty wreath. So now we're on to the next one. I really like this green spider ribbon. It's velvet, it's velveteen, and it's the coolest bright color of green. I like it. The satin, and I'm not liking the flotch purple so much, just because they're thinner, and it's harder when they're thinner like that. They just don't quite have the same body. But, you know, when they're all on here, again, other people don't notice and they don't see what you see. And of course, they're not having to go through the process. So they're not having to deal with the experience that you're experiencing. And, but it's all good. It's all good. And, you can, if you want to go through and shape these, try to pull out little poofs. I'm probably not going to do that too much because I'm liking the way it looks without doing that. And when you do pull those poofs out, you run the risk of having more frays, of course. But it's just very full. One more, and we're done with the ties. We're done with our streamers. That tie is really short. I think one short tie. Quality control, people. Quality control. Okay. So there she is. What do you think? Let me pull this camera up. There we go. Didn't that turn out full and pretty? So now I'm going to show you. This is my easel. I'm going to pull the camera up taller. Oh, see my much mess. Okay. This is my easel. This is the Size Matters tabletop easel, and it's 32 inches tall. So it works really well if you're standing and working on a wreath. Now it is 1/2-inch solid plywood. And now it's not furniture grade, so it's not, don't expect furniture grade, but it's got a chain that keeps it stable. It has a piano hinge, so you can fold it flat, and there's several holes so you can adjust the hook to where the height you want. So if you want to work sitting down, you can move the hook lower and lower your wreath. So right now, of course, I'm standing up. I still don't have the camera high enough. So I'm going to put this wreath right onto my easel, and you can see. Now, see the silhouette here? There went my sign. You see how thin? I can put my hand right through it, and I will be able to attach my sign. See how? I can shake my hands. I love having this narrow silhouette because you can attach anything without having to move. Unless, the only time that's not true is if you want your bow dead center. So what you do is you position your bow where you want it, and then you just move the wreath a little bit, so wire it. But other than that, you can attach your sign, your flowers, your ribbons, your bows, everything without having to move your wreath because of this slender silhouette. But it's super, super sturdy. And he will paint this to your color choice, apply your logo to personalize your business. And these sell for $60, including shipping. And these are on the website as well. So go to cowlingslovingdesigns.com. So I appreciate that if you're interested. I love my easel. Okay, now I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go down again. I sure do need to win that Mevo in that contest because, oh, I'm not even sure Mevo is part of the contest this time. It might be. Oh, I have knocked everything down. My Bodabra, my wire, my Mod Podge, everything. I've knocked it all off. You know what? I have some black. I've lost my orange pipe cleaners, but I have some black ones. You know, I'm going to show you how to attach this sign. So I'm going to pull out some pipe cleaners, and I'm going to use my staple gun. Now at the bottom of your staple gun there's a little groove. So you can find that groove and lay that pipe cleaner right in that groove. And then you just lay it down. And there it is. Perfectly placed. That staple, because I use 1/4-inch staples, it will not go through my signs. So I find that groove. Whoop, it came out of that groove. Find that groove. There we go. Find that groove in that staple gun. It makes it so much easier. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to staple something and didn't know about that little groove being there. And so I'd staple and staple and keep thinking, why am I missing? Why am I missing? Well, I was missing because I wasn't lining up that groove with that staple. And then you only need one. So I just pull these up. Now, I will hit these with a dab of glue just because I like to reinforce everything and make certain. You can use cable mounts that attach to these, but the heat will melt the glue no matter what you do, and they will come loose. So if there's any way to do it by stapling, I encourage you to do that. So I don't know that this is hot yet. It's not. So again, always put your label, your business card or your return address label or something with your name and your business name and your website or whatever on the back of your sign so that people will know how to contact you when they remove that sign from that wreath and they're ready to order a new one. This is a Ryobi glue gun. It's battery operated and it's new. My sweetie got it for me when they were having a sale. If you bought a battery, you got the tool free. Well, the battery's more expensive than the gun, but I really love it. And he came home and surprised me with it. And what I love is not having to be hooked to a cord. But it's not hot yet because I just turned it on. So we'll wait another second. We have to decide where we're going to put this sign. And I'm probably... yeah, I think I'll go. Okay, now I gotta move the camera up again. I'll go lower center because it's long and narrow. When you go long and narrow, you either got to go up, middle, or down. And I'm not happy. I don't particularly like signs at the top. And you can go in the middle, but it covers the whole. And then it limits the way you can decorate, I find. So I'm going to move the camera up again once more. You see my bins and bins of mesh in the background. So we're going to hit this with some glue. Come on, baby. I know you're hot. You got to be hot. Come to mama. There you are. So that's that. Off I turn it. Okay. Oh, my little tab on my watch came undone. I'll have to glue that too. So that'll sit here in a second. Where's that little? Oh, I knocked the spider down. I'm going to go get the spider. Tag off of them. Now I can pull his legs out a little bit. Now clearly I don't need this long of a thing to put this spider in this wreath. And I think he's probably going to go, I'm going to put him like right there. So I'm going to cut this. And for this one, I need my big heavy duty cutters. Now, I want to leave enough. It's too thick to wrap around. I won't be able to make it work. Is the glue gun heavy? No, it's not. It's not too heavy at all. And now this one, this particular battery I have on there is a heavier battery because it's for one of his yard tools. And because the battery that came with it was dead. So I used it, but I don't think this weighs more than 3 pounds, maybe max. So it's not bad at all. And I love it. It's a lot easier than being tied to the, hi from O'Fallon, Kim, my old home. Hello, hello. I moved here from O'Fallon 4 years ago. And so I lived there I carried mail in O'Fallon for 17 years. I delivered mail. And so I'm going back there here in August. My daughter lives there. So I'll be going back and visiting her and visiting some friends. And I have very fond memories of O'Fallon. So where in O'Fallon are you, Kim? See if she can. I bet I can tell. I can tell her which route she was on, which postal route she lives on. Okay, so now I've spread his legs out a little bit, so we'll decide where we're going to position him. The glue is dry on the sign, so now we need to decide exactly where we're going to put it. So I'm thinking I need to turn it around a little bit so I can envision, but I'm going to go right across near the bottom, closer to the bottom, about like that. Oh my goodness, you didn't know that, didn't you? Yeah, I lived in O'Fallon from 1993 until 2015. And before that, I lived in St. Peter's. So, okay, so I'm going to go. I moved out to O'Fallon the year of the flood. And I had just started working at the post office, and we had that major 500-year flood. And that was a rough time. Okay, so I'm going to position it like this. So this is what I will do. I'm going to start with my top pipe cleaner, and I'm going to come through. It's hard to do this when I'm not facing it, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing as much as you can. So I'm going to go through the loops with this pipe cleaner, and see I'm reaching right through, and I've got it right there. So now I will come around behind it. I don't know what just fell, but a whole bunch of stuff just fell. So I've wrapped that pipe cleaner around the frame. Oh, Fallon Hills. Okay. So you are just past Winchester Apartments, which I delivered mail at. So, okay. In fact, one of our supervisors, Bud, lived in O'Fallon Hills. He retired a long time ago. What was his last name? Bud Gettemeyer. Okay. So now I'm going to go through this middle here. But I can't tell you what route that is because that's a rural route, and I don't know what number route that was. Yes. Okay. I lived off of, I lived in Indian Springs. Oops. So I'm just bringing this around to the frame and wiring it to the frame. Now, the nice thing about being able to get back here, you don't want your sign so tight that it's going to smash your wreath, which is what I just did. So I'm going to come back and loosen it because I don't want it that tight. You never want to smash your wreath. So, but it's very tempting to do that. So I'm going to push that out a little bit. And of course, when you get your bottom ones on, it's not going to look that way. It's not going to. So now I'm going to bring these through down here. And I'm just reaching right behind, putting my hands right through it. And then I go to the frame. And I'm tying it around the frame. Hi from Ferndale. Hi, Linda. Well, I'm glad you're here. Linda Hahn just bought something from me, didn't you? Linda got some Size Matters ribbon measurers from me. Thank you, Linda. And how do you like your Size Matters? Or was it an easel? What did you get? Did you get the easel? I'm sorry, I forget who gets what these days. I've shipped so many things out lately, I don't remember who got what. But I know you got something. can't see my screen because I'm behind here tying a. This is what's so nice about this easel, because you can get behind here. You can see exactly what you're doing. Okay. And the sign is on. It's right there. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. So our sign is firmly attached. See, I can pull this up. I can shake it. It's going nowhere. You got the easel. That's what I was thinking you did. So now you're seeing me use it. Have you used it yet? Do you like it? Okay. So I will be making a bow and putting it here. But now we got to attach this little guy up here. Yes, you love it. Thank you. I'm so happy. I'll tell Donald, and that will make him happy because, of course, he's the one who built it. So let's see. I'm going to try to bend this wire. This is a very stiff wire. It doesn't want to bend easily. But I want to bend it and get it poked through right there. Woo! Can you see? Isn't he cute? And then I'll get the big bow and I'll put it up there. It's beautiful too. Thank you. So this is what I'm gonna. I'll make this bow. It's 8 o'clock and I have not had supper, guys, because we got home so late. And I'm starting to. Very nice, Linda. I'm so glad you joined me. Please sign on up for your live alerts. Go to the messenger, type in under the messenger comments, type live, and then it'll ask if you want to be notified when I go live, and just type yes. And so you'll be subscribing to my live videos. And if you'll go to the YouTube and subscribe, Cowling's Loving Designs, and subscribe to my channel, and be sure you click on that bell. It's called ringing that bell, and so you'll get notified when I go live on YouTube. I have not gone live on YouTube yet. I'm about to start doing that, but I do load all my videos, all my tutorials. I load them up to my YouTube channel, and I'll tell you, lovely wreath. Thank you, Trudy. Isn't it fun? It's sparkly and pretty. And when I wire, I'll finish hooking this little guy in. He's going to be real easy. I'll just wire him in with some floral wire, and I'll probably put a little bit of glue just to secure him on the back. And then I'll put the big bow here, and I'll post the finished pictures on my Facebook page and on my website. And just remember, you can go to YouTube and see how it was made. And but I am so glad you joined me. You guys just made my day, and it just means the world to me that you want to watch what I do. This is what I love to do, and it's great therapy. It's wonderful therapy. I always say let beauty surround you, and whether it's in your garden or in your home or whatever, there's just something that brings a lot of peace and joy to you by having something beautiful around you, even if it's just a wreath on your door or on your wall. And so it's my pleasure to do it, and I love creating things, and I really love creating things for other people. So if you have a desire, for instance, I have a friend who is, his father is a Yankees fan, and he was been my house sitter, and he's moving to Canada. So he asked me if I would make a Yankees wreath for his dad. And these are trademarks, so you can't sell them. You can buy them, but you can't make a profit off of them. But I got the mesh. So I've got this beautiful gray, and I've got this lovely white. And where is my navy? Oh, I just got some navy I had to order. I can't remember. Did I knock it off? Oh, I knocked it on the floor. So I got another roll of navy. And so I'm going to be making him this New York Yankees wreath. And it's his way of giving something to his dad before he moves to Canada. So I'm excited about doing that. I almost did that live tonight, and I've got some beautiful ribbons. I've got grays and silvers and navies and whites, and so that's going to be special for him. And then he himself is a Mets fan, And so I got, oh, here. So I got him a sign. So I'll be making him a New York Mets. I've already made one New York Mets wreath. I have somebody that's I'm waiting for her to pay for it so I can send it to her. And and it's gorgeous. I did that on my live video too. So if you go to YouTube, you can see that. I've done some neat things there. So I don't edit my videos. So what you see is what you get. I probably will start editing them a little bit. Especially the ones when I've been knocked offline and had to come back on. I need to learn how to do that, but I'm pretty new at this, and I am very techno, not savvy. So all of my talents are in the right brain. So thank you guys so much. And as I said, I'll make this bow, and I might even jump on and do a live video making this bow, maybe tomorrow before I attach it to the wreath. And oh, I got to be in the clinic for infusion all day, probably Thursday. So I'll probably do that because I do have a Pro bow and I've learned to use it and I love it. And so I'm going to be making kind of a big old bow with this. Let me show you the ribbons. I love this ribbon. This is 4-inch ribbon, and it just doesn't that look like a spider web in the middle? So it's not supposed to be, but well, maybe it is supposed to be, but they don't advertise it as Halloween ribbon. But that will be my base for my bow. And then I have this bright orange with these bubbles, so I'm going to use that. And then I've got this sparkly purple ribbon. I'll be using that. And I'll probably throw this green in here too, because I love it. I often make the bow out of totally different ribbons than what are in the wreath. But and then I have some other striped that's orange and green and black, beautiful purple glittery striped ribbon. I'll throw that in there. So it'll be a beautiful bow and it'll make it a very special Halloween wreath. And so if any of you are interested, it will be on in my Etsy store. It'll be on my website. And I actually prefer selling from my website. I don't have to pay fees to anybody, which helps me a lot, especially with the increased shipping that we now have. So please go to my website. Go there often because I'm always adding something new. And I'm going to start adding some little blogs and some little tips. And I'll be doing things other than wreaths. I'll be doing centerpieces and other things. And maybe some household tips and do-it-yourself tips. So my website's going to start being a lot more active. So I hope you'll go there, and eventually I'm going to be issuing emails out. You would love to learn to use the Pro bow, Kim. Okay. Well, I will be doing a video. Let's see, Thursday. I'm trying to think of my time. I will use the Pro bow and make the bow for this wreath on the Pro bow on a live video. And hopefully you can come and watch. But there are several good videos out there. Lori Jacobs is my mentor. I'm a member of her group, her Success Path Business group, and her Wreath Therapy on Steroids design group. And her link is at the top of my Facebook page. If you're interested in joining those, I have the affiliate link where you can click on it and join. You can join just the design group. But she has wonderful videos on YouTube on how to make bows. A lot of people do, but she just does a great job. And another person that makes just the most beautiful bows, her name is Carla Young. And her website is the One Stop Boutique. And she has videos on making bows. She makes the most outstanding bows you've ever seen. And there are several good bow makers out there. And so I encourage you just to keep watching them, because everybody will have a little bit different way of doing something, or they'll do a little bit, just a little bit different, tweak it somehow. And but I did do a couple of videos with bows, and I'm not sure if they're on the website now or not. I think they might be, but I will definitely do it, Kim. I am so glad to meet you from O'Fallon. I'm glad all of you joined me, and you made my day. And we made a beautiful wreath using that Jackie weave. So go back, if you missed it, go back and watch, and you'll see how to do the Jackie weave, which is a different method than I've ever done on a live before. So I'm glad you like it, and thank you. Good evening, and go let beauty surround you. Good night.